intention for the week. Maybe you just want to say where you're zooming in from. And those of you on our social platforms, hello, hello, hello. If I haven't had the chance to meet you before, my name is Sara Connell. I am the founder of Thought Leader Academy, where we get to help awesome coaches, writers, and entrepreneurs become best-selling authors, in-demand speakers, to go out and change lives while they monetize their missions. So those of you in the Zoom room are doing that work with us. Any of you on social, if you want to get in the Zoom room, it's completely free. All you have to do is email care@saraconnell.com, and we'll make sure to get you the secret Zoom link so you can come be in the lounge virtually, but in the inner circle here. So we're super excited to all get to be together. And we're going to do a really fun training today in the lounge. So the purpose of the Thought Leader Lounge is to come together and get empowered and focused and expanded, get into an expanded state so that we make this week the most impactful, the most abundant, the most profitable, the most in contribution kind of a week that we can have. And we do that every week because, as Louise Hay so beautifully shared when she founded Hay House, that every time she had a birthday, she would say, "This will be the best year of my life so far." And so we get to declare each week the best week of our life so far in terms of the lives we touch, the service we're able to give to the world, and the abundance that we create. So it's time to get into the creative genius that we do here at Thought Leader Academy, because however you identify, whether it's as author, as CEO, as visionary, as thought leader, you're here to change the world. So this show is dedicated to you and making sure that you get to do that in a powerful way. So yeah, we've got some new awesome people. Andrea's saying wanting to get oriented for the week. Beautiful. Well, we get to do that together. So absolutely ecstatic that you're with us. I'm going to share today something we've never done in Thought Leader Lounge, which is exactly how not to achieve a goal. Okay, those of you at Women Starting Movements, you know a little bit about what we're up to here, but we've never done it on the lounge. And I'm going to teach you 100% how to make sure that you will not fulfill that goal. You will not manifest that thing. You will not create that experience. I'm going to teach you exactly how not to do it. Now, why would we spend time on how not to achieve our thought leader goals? Well, of course, because what we will also be doing is I'm going to share a story of when I stopped doing these things that were keeping me from a particular goal, that I was able to create something really exciting, which is a physical, tangible thing. Sometimes it's nice to play with tangible things because we can touch, taste, smell, hear, and feel them. And so I'm going to share the story of how I created my new car. Okay, it's a car. Some of you might be like, don't care about cars. That's okay. The car represents up level. The car represents expansion. The car represents safety and abundance and all kinds of things. So I'm going to share that with you. So who's excited? Put in the comments or the chat if you're excited to learn exactly how not to achieve your goals this week, this month, this year. And then, of course, we will be flipping that to exactly how. And I'll just share this really, even though I know this stuff, I practice this stuff, I fell into the how not to do it trap around this particular thing. And then we're gonna get everybody empowered to create something amazing this week. So I'd love you to be thinking about, I'm going to make a couple announcements of events we have coming up so that you can save the dates and get situated, anything you want to come to. We have a huge end of the year. November and December at Thought Leader Academy are going to be off the charts in terms of what we have going on. So I'm going to share those things with you. And as I do, I want you to be dropping into your hearts. In fact, let's do that now. And let's forget your head, forget what's going on Monday, what you have to do later, what you're baking for dinner. Just let it go. Come into your body, come into this moment. And we're going to tune in to like, what is something that you really, really, really want to create by the end of the year? Okay. We've got just over 2 months left. Sometimes these are the most exciting, accelerating, profitable, amazing, abundant months of the year. What are you excited to be able to touch, hold, taste, smell, and see by the end of the year? Think of one thing that you can play with today as we walk through this technique. If you want to share it in the chat, you're welcome to, just to be witnessed, or in the comments on social, but you absolutely 100%, of course, are welcome to keep that private in your heart. All right. So a couple things coming up. This Friday, We have the Double Your Impact and Income with a Best-Selling Book. If you're brand new to thinking about what writing a book or a next book could do for you to help your visibility, your credibility, your abundance, it is a 2-hour masterclass that is free, our gift to you. And that's happening this Friday on the 27th of October. So we'll post the links here in Zoom, and also you will have them on social. If you want to join us for that, it's a free masterclass, really powerful. We've gotten a lot of people started on their journeys through that class. Then just a little over a week later, November 6th through the 10th, we are hosting the next best-selling book boot camp. Okay. We do a best-selling book intensive boot camps. This is a phenomenal experience. It's also free. It's our gift to you. And this is a phenomenal experience if you want to figure out what you even would want to work on as a writing project, all the way through if you've got a book fully underway or even written, to be able to make sure that you're reverse engineering that book to get you the outcomes that you want. It's a powerful 5-day training that's going to have a bonus write-in on Saturday, November 11th. 11/11, we're going to have a write-in for everyone who does the boot camp and everyone who's in Thought Leader Academy. And you can sign up for these things. Again, they're all free. We just want you to get shit done this fall, right? Can I say that? I'm streaming, so I probably shouldn't have said it that way. Just want you guys to have huge wins this fall, right? So we're going to be doing that. November 6th through 10th is the main content of the boot camp. And then we're going to have a write-in. If you've never been to a write-in, it's like a dance marathon for writing. Okay. Basically, we're going to come on, we're going to get high vibe. We're going to write. We're going to take stretch breaks. We're going to celebrate. We're going to get stuff done. And we're just going to go for a big chunk of time, several hours. It's so much fun. I used to do them live here in Chicago, and I'm so excited to be on Zoom so we can do it from all over the world. All right. Those things are coming up. We also have finally in November, our Next Level You. Okay. This is a powerful workshop on Wednesday, November 29th. If you're in Thought Leader Academy or any of our programs, you get to come as our gift. This one is a small investment if you are not already training with us. You're going to want to be there because I'm going to take you through my signature process of how I review a year, mine it for all the gifts and wonderful things, how I release the crap we're not taking into 2024, and then set up an incredibly epic, powerful, successful, abundant 2024 year for you. All right. So it's a really, really incredible teaching a version of this workshop for 20 years. We've had marriages come out of this workshop. We have had businesses birthed out of this workshop. We have all these things. So if you're already our client, you're already going to get your pass in for free. Don't worry about it. Anybody else, you can register at that link. All right. So let's take a breath. All that good stuff is coming for you. You can get writing done the next month. You can get your year for next year planned out next month. We've got you. And it's going to be so much fun. Oh, and the final thing, this Thursday, 2 to 3 Eastern time, if you want to come to Italy for Thought Leader Adventures 2024. Now, Kelly, we're already talking about it. So we have a Thought Leader Adventures International. Every year we take a trip. This year it is going to be in Italy. It's going to be amazing. At the end of June, we'll have dates, logistics, all the stuff. You can come to that session this Thursday, October 26th, 2 to 3 Eastern. We'll put the link, and all are welcome to come and just find out about the trip and if it's something that you're interested in. All right. Now we're going to take a deep breath. Shake it up. Let's do a little shake. Let's do a shimmy. If you need to stand up, do a jumping jack, do a wall sit, move your body. All right. Who wants to know how definitely, completely, and for sure not to manifest your goal that you thought of? Yep. Okay. I love it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you guys are going to have a sense of humor with me. Barbara's in. She's ready to learn. All right. And as I go through these, I'm going to transparently tell you all the things I've done wrong and things that block. It's not about doing it wrong, but things that blocked me from what I wanted, and see if any of these have shown up for you. We're going to laugh. We're going to be so loving to ourselves. There's no judgment here. I'm the only one telling it to the world on social. So you don't have to tell anyone yours, but I'm going to take you through and see if any of these might be blocking you from that thing or slowing you down from that thing that you declared you want between now and the end of the year. If you just joined us, pick something. What's something you would love to see happen between now and December 31st, 2023? All right. So here's how not to do it. We ready? The first way not to do it, and these are not in any particular order, but the first way that I guarantee I'm not going to do it is to talk myself out of wanting it in the first place. Okay. So check if that's ever come up for you. So it could look like, you already have enough. Why do you have to go wanting more? Okay. This typically goes back to childhood for those of us that were told we were too much, or we asked for too much, or we want, society tells us this too. Shouldn't you just be happy with what you have? Right? Why do you need to be greedy? Why do you need to be selfish? Why do you need to think anybody? I see some faces here on Zoom nodding, so I'm feeling better that I'm not completely alone. All right. Whether it's a next income level, whether it's a new business, whether it's a new house, whether it's a trip you want to take, whether it's a philanthropy you want to start, there's a voice in there. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's society, maybe it's your religion that you grew up in, and maybe it could be whatever, okay, that we've internalized that is going to make us right from the get-go wrong to even have the desire to begin with. Okay. And that's why I'm doing something uncomfortable, because I want to pick a thing to use as a case study here with you all that's like more spiritual or noble, right? Like something I started that helps other people. I'm talking about a car. Okay. I got a new car last week, and that's the most superficial thing, right? It's like, whatever, who needs it? I mean, my car was not broken. It was old. It was 10 years old, and it was starting not to work, like the electrical panel, the fun features, like none of that worked anymore. And it was, it was just like, it was an old car. Older car. But my husband, you guys, drove his car for 18 years before he got a new car. So shouldn't I drive my car? Okay. So the car is a metaphor. All right. I want you to put me in the chat or the comments if you have found yourself in an inner dialogue like this around something you want. You've kind of had this judgmental voice saying, comparing yourself. My husband who drove his Toyota Highlander into the ground and had to have it like towed to the lot before he got a new car. Right. God bless, right. So I should wait till my car completely breaks down and no longer functions at all to get a new car. Right. You guys agree with, I'm a really bad person for wanting more, right? All right. So that's number one. Talk yourself out of it before you even get going. And use, just for fun, to supersize this one, use other people and the way they do things as extra fuel to make you wrong for wanting it to begin with. Yes. Yeah, Barbara, why can't you just retire? Like everyone else just goes and plays golf, Barbara, play some tennis. What are you going to start a movement at this point, right? Yeah. This is what we do. This is what people do to ourselves. And, when you listen, thank God there's so many podcasts and books and things out. When you listen to creators, creative people, polymaths, leaders, they're never, ever done. They're never satisfied. They're never finished. And I don't mean it satisfied that we don't have gratitude for what we have, but they get a next vision. They catch a vision. Barbara, life's not done with your visions yet, right? That's why you're here. Okay. I love this. All right. So just give yourself a point if you ever done that one. All right. And let's move on to the second thing to do. The second thing you do is make sure not to take any action whatsoever towards this thing. Absolutely nothing. Do not do one single thing that would move forward on that vision, because remember, you don't deserve it anyway, or you don't have the money for it anyway, or what's the point because it's so far away and you can't imagine how it could happen. All right. I've shared the story before how I wanted to go back and get my master's in writing, creative writing and editing, never knowing I was going to start Thought Leader Academy, but I really, really wanted to do that. And of course, everyone's, oh my God, what a horrible waste of money. And MFA, that's like, just light your money on fire. It's a horrible idea. It's a waste of money. You're going to go into debt. I had all the voices inside and outside. And I finally got to this place where I said, I don't have the money for it. That's true. And I don't have anyone around me supporting me in this, but I'm just going to research schools. That doesn't cost any money. I can go online and read about MFA programs. Okay. Then I went to a conference I was already going to anyway, where a lot of these programs were. I said, I can walk down the exhibition hall and talk to people at these schools. I mean, that doesn't cost any. I'm already at this conference, right? And then I can actually start writing the applications. That also doesn't cost any money. I'm just looking online at what I need to do, essays, writing samples, recommendations, transcripts from 80 years ago when I was an undergraduate, right? Because I went back a little later, right? All these things, none of it costs any money yet. It costs some time, right? But don't do, if you want to make sure not to achieve that goal, don't take a single action. Nope. You talk yourself. It's not worth it. It's not going to happen anyway. So don't do anything, right? Yes, Pauline, I know, right? It's hilarious what we do. So what happened is that because I kept just taking the next action, then I did spend a little money on applications. It was like $200. Okay. It's like $30 an application. No big deal. I had $30 per school that I applied to. Then months still have to go by, right? Because they don't just tell you the same day you apply. If you got it 6 weeks in some schools that were rolling, some schools are like annually. By the time I got my acceptance letter from Northwestern, I had figured out the money because there were actually a boatload of steps that I needed to take anyway before I ever got to the place of being able to even write the application check versus even the tuition. I paid for the whole thing in cash, no debt. And contrary to what everyone in my life was telling me, it's one of the best investments I've ever made in terms of connections, in terms of up-leveling my craft and being of service to the people I get to help write their books. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. So if we don't want to achieve our goal, do nothing. Do absolutely nothing. Just say it won't happen anyway. You don't have the money. You don't have nothing. You don't have a plan. So what's the point? Okay. So that's what I was doing with the car. Let's go back to the more recent one with the car. I told myself it's not a good time to add. My other car was, I paid for in cash already. So don't add a car payment. That's a stupid idea. Why would you do that? The car still runs, blah, blah, blah. So I hadn't researched cars. I didn't go test drive any cars. I didn't find out what the monthly payment would be if I wanted to do a lease or a financing option. I didn't find out what the value of my current car was for a trade-in. I had nothing. I had no information. I took no action. Okay. Once in a while, I think I slapped up a car that I wanted on my vision board. I think I did do that. I think I'm just looking over at it. Yeah. Okay. That's one thing I did. I slapped up a picture on the vision board. So if you definitely want to not manifest your goal, just put it on the vision board and do nothing else. Okay. So that's what was going on. Let's go to another thing we can do to sabotage. Let's torpedo this. Let's really make sure. I want to make sure you guys leave today knowing you have 1000% are not getting this thing. All right. So the next thing we want to make sure that we don't do, or that we do, is compare ourselves to other people that already have this thing and feel less worthy. Okay. So compare yourself to the person who, has the business already launched or already has the book out, or in this case has the car that they, because I was really committed to getting an electric car. That's what I did. I wanted to go electric. So I feel good about the environment. Right. So who has the electric car? They figured it out. They must be better. They must be more successful. Has anyone done this one? Give me a me in the chat. If you then just spend some time really, really working up a great case of not good enough, less than. Yes. Going through it last week, Christina. Oh, thank goodness for the healing. Yeah. Yep. Right. And talk to other people who have decided not to have it, right? Make sure that those are the people you talk to that will reinforce the decision that you shouldn't want it or don't deserve it in some way, right? So that can be a family member who loves to project their unworthiness onto you, or it could be just people that are like, my husband who's like, you drive that car until it won't go another inch. That's how you are a good steward, right? Of things, right? All right. Sure have, Kelly. Okay, great. All right. So let's do one more. Let's just really make sure we're not achieving these goals, right? So the other really great technique, you only need one of these to torpedo your vision, but just so you have plenty of options. The other one to do then is to beat up on yourself and actually sabotage yourself with other behaviors that take you further from that goal. Okay. So what does this look like? If it's a financial investment like mine was for a car, it was to then spend money on things I didn't want as much as the new car. So they're really, really, oh, good. Courtney's laughing. All right. I got some laughs here, so that you make sure that you put even more distance. You actually go backwards from the goal by putting more distance in between you and the thing you want. So for me, when I was looking to get that master's of fine arts in writing, would have been just to quit writing completely. So I don't even have any writing samples. I don't even have anything to move forward. This is where you don't even work on your business, let alone make the investment in your business you're going to make. You just don't even go watch Netflix, eat a tub of ice cream, just and watch something really, really empty calories, like Real Housewives, or unless you love that show. But I'm just saying, pick something where you kind of feel like crap after you watch it, just to really reinforce the belief that you deserve nothing. Yes. Disinvest, Christina. That's exactly great way to term that. Yeah. Eat Exactly. Yeah. And not eat, Gina, like, one coconut almond bars, but just eat the box so that you really feel terrible about yourself. And then you're feeling like such a, energy that you just don't even have the motivation to take. Yeah. All four, Gina. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, this is the kind of stuff we do. And there's like, I could go for 10, but what I want to do is pull us out of the quicksand, right? Of sabotage, of not manifesting our goals. And I want to share what happened when I kind of got awake to this car thing. Okay. Last week on the Thought Leader Lounge, we talked about bound and unbound energy. All right. And when I did the inquiry with myself of where energy was bound, meaning there's something that's not in flow, there's something that's stuck, there's some relationship or part of my life where I'm not moving forward when it would serve me to move forward. Right. Yeah. Gina, laughing at the truth of avoidance. Yes. And so, 3 of them were professional sort of things that are already all like unbound. We've been, the unbinding has begun. But the 4th one was the car. And I said, what? Because I'd already talked myself out of the car. I didn't have the money easily. My husband drives his car till it's 18 years old. Like, I don't deserve the car, whatever. Bad time to make this investment. So I'd already put it off, but it came up in my inventory around bound energy. And so I got curious. So if you did that exercise last week, or you can go watch last week's episode and do that inquiry, I got curious why the car would come up, because the car, again, it's not an essential, get all my rationalizations. And what came up is that it wasn't about the car at all. It was that I was engaged in a conversation of lack, and that was binding my energy in many areas. Because if I'm in a lack conversation here, I'm in a lack conversation in my energy, right? It's not like our energy siphons off, and we just put it in this one thing. And I went, oh, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good. So I started looking at what I was doing, and I saw myself doing all these things, right? I talked myself out of it altogether, compared myself to my very virtuous, frugal husband. I, told myself it's not a good time. I avoided taking any research or action, even to find out what my current car was worth, for a trade-in or a sale. I'd done nothing. And so I thought, even if I don't get a car right now, I thought back to that experience with my master's degree. So even if I don't get a car right now, even if I don't get a car for 3 years, I don't want bound energy around lack in my life. That's not how I roll. I practice abundance. So what could I do? And so then I started making the list. I said, well, first, let me get my car appraised. That's an action I can take. It doesn't cost anything. So I did that. I found out exactly what amount I could get for my current car. Then I went and set up a meeting at the dealership, and I said, I'd love to come in, and I'm looking at electric SUVs, and I'd love to come in and test drive. And I felt like an imposter because I wasn't ready to make a deal that day, right? I felt like, oh, I need to go in and apologize to them in advance. Like, I'm not, and I said, shut your mouth and go test drive the car. No one is telling you, don't just, I brought my son so that we could make it an artist date because he thinks cars are really fun and he loves doing stuff like that. And I thought this will keep, a really high vibe energy. And we went down, and my husband said, don't go buy a car today. When we left, I love Bill so much. You guys know Bill. He's great. And he's just holding that voice. And I said, yep, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And we went down and we test drove the car. Now, they didn't have the color I wanted, but I did find the exact model. And I was really relieved they didn't have the color, because then I wasn't even in a position to make a decision that day. And I said, let me know when you get in, like, here's the, colors we looked at, and here's the one I want. And then I asked them to give me, what an estimated monthly payment was. And I looked at that and I went, well, hell no, like, absolutely not. And I went on my way. Okay. However, I suddenly felt unbound. I felt unbound because I was in action. I actually knew what my current car was worth. I knew exactly what model I wanted. I knew how it drove. I knew the colors. I felt the energy. And what happened is that I started every day when I got in my current 10-year-old car to pretend I was getting into the new car. It's a different color. It feels very different, super luxurious, really cool. I was picturing it being so silent with the electric, car and everything. And I just started pretending every day that I was getting in the new car. I did this when I wanted to have my son. I pretended there was a car seat in the back. Every day I was like, oh, there's the car seat. 7 years wanting this child and pretending there's a car seat in the back of the car, waving to the baby. Okay. So you just start imagining it, future pacing it. So I get a call that the model is ready and the one that I want, and I went in and test drove. And I still don't have the monthly was way off. I didn't have anything figured out. And the car, I got in the car, zinged through me, just zinged through my body. I was like, oh, this is, I love it. The double skylights and it's good for the environment, all the things. And it was exactly what I wanted. And I also was completely detached. Okay. So if you're building your roadmap of how to get the thing you want, right? I really let the desire build. I took action. I researched. I got myself prepared. I imagined I already had it. And I get in that car. I was like, oh, I want this car. And then they told me how much it would be. And I said, nope. I said, I love this car. I'm sure it's worth that, but that's just not a fit for me. And they came down a little and I didn't budge because the number I had that I told them that was the number for me was just my number. It was like, that's what I know I can figure out. And that's what I'm going to do. So I left. All right. So we are getting to the end of this. Thanks for sticking with me because I want us all to see like what to do, what not to do, right? If we want to manifest the goal. So it's completely free. What I felt though was joy. I felt pleasure. I felt fun. It felt exciting to have been in the car and smelled it and touched it and experienced all the cool, fun features and, amenities. I was picturing it every day. And then I drove out of town in my old car to do a speaking engagement at a conference. And, I got a text right before I left and they said, what would make it possible for you to get this car? And I said, the number I gave you, like just a flat trade-in on my current car. And this is how much per month. Like I'm not doing a game. I'm not doing, this is it. And of course they were like, oh, that's really not anywhere near what we need. And I was like, I know, that's okay. I was like, I love you guys and keep me posted. I'm sure this one will sell, but it's okay. Completely free. I was just having fun in the abundance, the unbound energy of it. The energy was flowing again in my abundance quadrant of my life. So I'm coming back from the speaking engagement. This was like last Friday. And I get this text from the woman we've been working with at the dealership. And she said, let's do it. And I was like, do what? I mean, I don't know what that means. Let's do what? And she said, we want you to have the car. And I said, well, yeah, I want the car too. But I mean, we were not close in our numbers. And she said, I worked it out. And I said, is this one of these you worked it out? I'm going to get in there and it's going to be like $800 more a month kind of thing. And she said, no, all in, I'll put it in writing. This is the amount it would be. This is how much, nothing more, not a penny more, no taxes, no nothing. This is the flat number and trade in our car. And I said, I'll be there tomorrow. And it was real. And that's what it was. And now I'm not pretending to be in the car. I'm in the car and it's very exciting. And the point is that it was about unbinding the energy. The car is just a fun little treat on top, but it was about, I was in a conversation of lack. I was talking myself out of what I really wanted. I was telling myself it was impossible. The resources weren't there. I was avoiding action because it felt impossible and the resources weren't there. I felt shame that I was going to go to the dealership and not be able to give them what they wanted at their number, right? I was doing all this nonsense, comparing myself to other people who wait longer or don't think they need to, get a new car. All right. So the unbinding of the energy to have what we want, we unbind the energy. We unbind the energy by first stepping out of those conversations, internal or external, that tell us we shouldn't want to be, do, or have this thing. Next, we unbind the energy further by moving into action and just doing every single step up until the step that the resources aren't there for, right? I happen to have some resources to put towards the car, just not what they were asking, right? But if I'd had no resources, I could still have done every single thing up to purchasing the car, right? So we unbind the energy and then we reinforce our unbound energy, our yes to the manifestation by walking around like we already have it, feeling how fun that is, being in the inner conversation that it's done, that we have it, isn't it wonderful? And knowing that we get to have it on our terms. Because this is it's a car because it's physical and we can all understand that, but this could be around a creative project. This could be around a thing in your business. This could be around a relationship, right? We pay attention to it already being done. We talk about it. We feel it. We take every action we can up to the point of our resources and then surrender it. detach. I really was fine if I didn't get the car. I truly was not dependent on getting the car. It was fine either way. It was fun if I got it. I was totally fine. My car still worked. It was not pressure. But I could feel the abundance had opened and expanded. I could feel the flow from that unbound energy. And I knew that that alone was a gift to my life. The car was irrelevant at that point. The gift to my life was I was back in the flow of abundance. And that's why I think my soul offered it up as an area for learning. It's super fun that this one included something physical, drive around it, right? I'll make a video if you guys want to see. I'll do a video of the really cool lights and the beautiful leather seats and the gorgeous alpine gray paint and all the stuff. Okay. So go back to that thing that you want between now and the end of the year. And if you came in late, pick something. Okay. Let's take a breath. And I want you to acknowledge with total love and compassion, because you and me and everybody, if you've been doing any of those sabotage, distancing actions, whether internal or external, just notice if you have. And if you have, or you just haven't kind of gotten in motion around this new vision or this continuing vision, ask yourself if you're willing to play a different game this week. This is your Thought Leader Lounge homework. Are you willing to abstain from conversations with yourself or others that talk you out of it? Are you willing to let go of any comparison to anybody else? And are you willing to take at least one action to unbind the energy and move the vision forward? Whether you think it's possible or you have the time or you have the money or you have the skills or whatever, F that. That's not the game we're in. If you want it, it's because life wants you to have it. That's just like, to me, I'm just going to own it and say that's the truth. Okay. So I'd love to hear in the comments and chat, who's in for doing that this week, right? Who is in for unbinding some more energy around this goal? And even if you've unbound your energy, just taking it forward. Yeah. And imagining that you have it, buddy up with someone, right? And have some fun with it. And then I want everybody, before we conclude today, to think of what's the one action, like for me, like the test drive or getting the car appraised. What's one action that you're going to take this week between now and when we meet in the lounge next Monday to move this forward? Because when you move, the universe moves too. When you move, I would never have gotten that car for that price. No way in hell if I just looked at it online. I needed to do the test drive. I needed to get my car priced. I needed to go in and pretend it was happening. It took that beautiful recipe. Okay, Gina, you're going to get coaching in the Abundance Accelerator. Yes, we have the Abundance Accelerator today, 2:00 Eastern. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this was just an amuse-bouche for the Abundance Accelerator later. So I'm excited to be, and we're going to do something so fire today. I'm super excited. I worked on it this weekend and made myself do it, and we're going to do it as a group. All right. So yeah, anybody else wants to put yours in the comments on social or here in the chat in Zoom, please do. If you want to be witnessed, or you can keep that private. Okay. Might not be something you want to share. That's totally cool. Just commit to yourself. And ideally one other human in your life that you're going to do it. You're going to do it between now and next Monday at noon Eastern so that we can move these visions forward together. Remember the W.H. Murray quote, doors will open where there were no doors. I should not have gotten that car. My husband was like, I pay more for my Toyota than you're paying for this amazing electric Mercedes SUV. Okay. That shouldn't have happened that way. But it did, because we activated the unbound energy. We unbound. You're buying a new car, Jody. I love it. Pauline, you're going to lay out your journal. I love it. Beautiful. Andrea, you're going to write 5 short visual journal exercises and video on them. Yes, I said one of them, maybe video all of them. That is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Nadine, you're asking, how do you find out what you can be? I ran all my numbers in my personal and professional finances. And then I talked to my accountant about, was it better to get the car through the company or through my personal, just a personal buyer? And then I went through and said, okay, what can I eliminate that I don't care that much about? And I came up with a number. And because I didn't want to add overhead to my life. I didn't want to add overhead to my business or my life. I didn't want to pay anything extra because then my other car was, already paid for. So I said, what can I eliminate that would pay this car payment every month? And that was my number. I just made it up based on what the resources there. And even though it was like 3 times less than what I originally was quoted, right? But, car dealerships want to move their 2023 inventory. It's the end of October. They got 24s coming in, right? Who knows why? But when we act, providence moves too. Okay. And even if you don't have any money available, because with my master's in writing, I had no available funds. I just didn't. And so I just kept taking every action. By the time I got, because it was a very, multi-month process, by the time I got that acceptance letter, I had started earning some more. I had started figuring out ways to do some things differently, offer some different things. If you're in the abundance accelerator, that's what we're doing. We're finding the ways to generate that abundance. And I had found the way. Paid for it. I went part-time, paid for it in cash as I went, no debt. All right. So I'm so excited for us to play with this. You all are rock stars. You're amazing. And what is this? Just let's finish with, what do you think happens in your life when you live life this way? When you unbind your energy and you enter conversations inside and outside you that are affirming of what you want, that reinforce that you deserve it, that you can, that you're capable and powerful, that it's going to bring good to the world, right? What's possible for you when you take action and accelerate the manifestation? Because yeah, I'm enjoying my car, but guess who else is benefits from that car? The earth, because I'm not driving a gas car anymore, right? Just in this case, my husband and son, because it's fun. They like to ride in it, and it's safer than my other car. It's newer and has more features. Just me embodying a better roadmap of how not to do it and do it. Hopefully it was helpful here, right? There are benefits to others when you manifest what you desire. It's not ever just for us. It's for all. Everybody wins when you win. Oh, Jennifer said she got a backfire as she unbound the. Well, here's the thing, Jennifer. One of my unbindings went really, really badly with the other person. I mean, I'm not going to say badly. What I'll say is it was really uncomfortable and painful. And it also was the right thing because my energy is unbound. Did I enjoy it? No. Did it feel really upsetting and triggering? 100%. It sucked, honestly, to be really honest with you. It was not my favorite. The other ones have all been like, really, the car was fun. One of the other conversations went well. This one was really rough. Okay. And bottom line is, I'm still glad I unbound the energy, because I was either going to have that conversation at some point, right? That energy was still bound. And so I am free, even though it was uncomfortable going through it. That's just my perspective, right? Everyone decide for themselves. All right. So we get to wrap now for this episode of The Lounge. Remember to sign up for the Best-Selling Book Bootcamp, November 6th through 10th. It's free. If you're not already working with us in our programs, you'll just automatically get the invite. Register for that. We'll be on for the Abundance Accelerator today at 2 to carry this conversation. You're all going to be all high vibe, all of you in here. Okay. You'll be unbound, ready to go. And mark your calendars for Wednesday, November 29th, when we will do our 2024 Next Level You. All right. So that's the planning, strategy, and vision session for your next year, completing this year, getting ready for the next year in a really epic way. And we're so excited to see you guys for all of those things. All right. We'll be back on at the Lounge next Monday. I'll see you then. Bye.